Oh yeah, nothing like it. Look, another one. They're stacked. All right, guys, welcome back to another video here on Ouachita Bass. And I know what you're thinking. Mark, where have you been? It's been over 6 months since we've seen a video from you. I'm back. I never went anywhere. I've just been very present in my own life, dealing with various things throughout the year. I've purchased a new boat, which I haven't even introduced to the channel yet. You guys will be seeing the new boat today, but it's a 1989, so it's a little bit older. It's a 1989 Bass Tracker Pro17. And I upgraded. The motor it did have on it was a 76, which was even older, Johnson 75 horse. And I was having issues with that, so I went ahead and upgraded to a little bit newer Mercury 50 horse 2-stroke that I got here in Hot Springs, Arkansas, a shop called Ken's Marine. So if you guys are in the area and looking for a good boat or a good service, definitely check out Ken's Marine. They gave me a good deal on the motor. I thought it was a good deal for the condition that it was in based on what I'd been kind of shopping around for. And yeah, I'm back in Hot Springs Village. It's been a busy year for me and my fishing partner, James. We fished about a dozen, well, between actual fishing days and pre-fishing days, more like 15 different tournaments, basically. Having that mindset of going in and figuring the lake out, trying to find some fish, finding fish, and then, you know, how to find the big ones of the group. So it's been fun. It's been a challenge. Been some healthy competition between us and a few guys that are here local, about 20 guys, well, 20 teams of people, you know, 2 people per boat. So it's been a busy summer. Just now getting back into the kind of the groove of leisurely fishing is what I call it, or fun fishing is what my buddy James calls it. Fishing just for the sake of fishing, whether that's putting meat in the freezer or if it's just to get out, clear your mind, and have a good time. So that's what today is going to be about. It's going to be about going out, just catching some fish. Hopefully not doing too much fishing, just doing a whole bunch of catching today. I'm going to Lake Isabella, which is a small lake here in the village. And if you know about Lake Isabella, you know it's one of those lakes that are just loaded with fish. Bunch of small guys, but I have hooked into a 5+ pounder. Another buddy of mine has hooked into at least a 5-6 pounder. Lost both of those at the boat. And then my buddy James, I'll go ahead and link the video in the description here, but my buddy James actually landed a 7-pound bass out of this little lake that is, like I said, loaded with small fish. And when I say small, I mean 8 to 12 inches. There's a good mix though. There's some decent size 13 to 16 inch fish in there too, but it seems like there's just an overabundance of small fish in this lake, which is fun. It's good because a day like today you can just go and just catch fish, you know what I mean? It almost doesn't matter what you're throwing them. I'll catch them on crankbaits, catch them on Ned rigs, shaky heads, top water, buzz baits, chatterbaits, just about anything that you throw at them in this lake, you're gonna pretty much catch some fish. So that's what we're doing today. I'm trying to have some fun, make a little video out of it. Yeah, right now I'm on my way to actually pick up the boat from storage. Yeah, you'll see that now. Let's go do it. How's done right there? All right, got the boat. Time to go to the lake now. Let's see if we can catch a couple, huh? First cast. Working that little baby crankbait, little mini max. Got a couple things tied on today. That was a bite. The mini max Got a little lipless crankbait. Got a shaky head. I might end up tying on a Ned rig instead of a shaky head, just because that seems like what they've been into. Last couple times I've been out here, they've just been wanting that Ned rig, but got the shaky head tied on, so we're gonna see if they'll bite that. You can see I'm just working this point. Really, the wind done blew me on top of the point. I need to back up off of it a little bit. See if I can actually stick a fish. 15, 20 minutes after the sun is gone, this point right here is on fire. Same as this point over here, which I'm gonna try to catch a fish off of it before I end up going around the corner and see what that culvert's doing. But we've been having some rain the last day and a half, 2 days. I think there ought to be some water moving in, and that might just have these fish turned on even more than normal. But we're gonna fish around here first, because I've seen fish activity-wise. They don't want it yet. They must know I'm making a video. That's what it is. They know I'm making a video today. So they got the lockjaw. Or maybe they just don't want the moving bait. Maybe they want that little Ned rig. Well, maybe not. Check back with you. All right, got my Ned rig tied on. I have to put the soft plastic on it. This is peanut butter and jelly. Z-Man, Ned rig, little grub. Peanut butter jelly time. This is that super elastic called Elastec. You can see what I did? So I ran the grub down too far. I need to back it out. But since it is caught in there, I might have issues with it. That's a little better right there. Now we got more of the hook exposed. It's a little wanky-fied, but on this Ned rig, it's almost like it's so small, they don't care, they just eat it. You have to excuse my reel. Definitely has caught me a bunch of fish. I've used it down in Louisiana, in Gulf of Mexico, down in Grand Isle. Caught a bunch of fish, freshwater with it. And yeah, it's just a cheap reel, so they don't last forever. That's why they're cheap. I've had it for almost 2 years. Like I said, it's done caught me a bunch of fish. I got my money's worth out of it. It's a little Shakespeare agility. All the stickers and stuff had done worn off of it. But it was a Shakespeare agility. It came on a little medium heavy combo. Little $24 Shakespeare excursion. $24 at Walmart. And it has caught me a lot of fish too. And I liked it so much I bought another one. See, I got another one down there. This is a medium action. And that one there is a medium heavy. So it's I use that one for my swim bait. I use it for chatterbait, little small chatterbait. Yep. See if we can catch fish now. We got audience. Going good. Can't complain. I'm glad we got a break from the rain, but man, we needed it, huh? We could really use another couple days of it.
I remember being this dry for years.
Yeah.
We got almost 2 inches here.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to rain a little bit tomorrow.
Oh, is it?
I think so, maybe in the morning, but it's gonna clear out before too long. There's a bass. Yeah, get the net. Size right here is a good eating size, just enough to get a couple little fillets off of them. They got some big ones in here though. A buddy of mine caught a 7-pounder right there in April of this year. Yeah, I've seen some big catfish, big carp. And I was really surprised. If he wouldn't have had it on video, I wouldn't have believed that he caught it in this lake. But
Well, that's the problem, is there's so much food in the lake.
right.
Yeah, they're not easy to catch.
Yep. Yeah, it's a lot of times it's just about being in the right place at the right time. It don't matter how good you are.
Carp are probably a little easier to catch in this lake.
Yeah.
They don't feed on the live bait quite so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard of people doing little balls of corn and bread and stuff like that, fishing under a cork. They're a good fight, those carp, but they're not much else, just a good fight. Yeah, some people eat them, but hey, that's to each their own on that one. Look at this monster. So somebody say, have the fish move shallow. They live shallow. Here's another one. Now, that's one of them green sunfish I was telling you all about. See, now this is not a bluegill. Some people call them bluegills. They say, well, they got that little blue on their gill, but that's not what makes a bluegill a bluegill. It is true, a bluegill does have that little blue on there, but see, that mouth on this fish is a lot bigger than a bluegill. And if you've ever caught a bluegill, you know that that is not the mouth of a bluegill. That almost looks like a goggle eye, or what they call a warmouth, or a rock bass or something like that. But nope, that is a green sunfish. And these little lakes, they're loaded with those green sunfish. They hit the same baits, they're in the same little areas, but they do have a definite difference to the way that they hit it. They're more like kind of like a little cadence to them. The bass will just pick it up and start moving. That's usually if you can be disciplined. Sometimes you can tell the difference between the bites and only set the hooks on a bass. That way you're not, just setting hooks into everything and all that stuff. A lot of those green sunfish, if you're fishing with like a wacky rig or Texas rig or something like that, they'll bite the worm and not the hook because they're so small. They'll bite the hook, they'll bite the worm and steal your bait. That's what I call them, is worm snatchers. But they're still fun to catch, especially if you just want to catch some fish. You don't really care what's what. All right, we done made our way over to the culvert. As you can see, it is flowing nicely. Guarantee you there's some fish over there eating. And you can see some of the runoff from, I guess that's fertilizer maybe for the golf course. That greenish tint that's over here. But hey, by the time it hit 375, fish start floating in that grease. After about 3 or 4 minutes, yeah, you ain't gonna know no different. I'm about to catch fish right here. I mean, come on, as soon as they hit the water. As soon as they hit the water, they're sitting there, probably stacked up, waiting for something to come through. Right there on the top of the mouth. A little 10-incher pincher. Tell you what, if you want to have more fun catching small fish, the key is that right there. Get you a medium action rod, something that ain't too stiff, something you can still feel the fish fight. Oh yeah, that make all the difference. That turn a disappointing day into a fun day, because then you actually having to fight them. Oh yeah, nothing like it. Look, another one. They're stacked up underneath. Choo, stacked. That's a little better one too. Stop it. That's a little better one. That's a little 12-incher. I'm just gonna go ahead and position myself a little different, and then I'm gonna drop this anchor and just sit here and catch them. All right, so I decided not to anchor. Just that way, whenever they stop biting right here, I can go ahead and just kind of work that bank. And we'll see if we can get it while the getting's good. You know what I mean? It's that type of lake, though, you probably can't even wear out. Really. There's so many fish in here. And just a bunch of people just don't fish for them. I know me personally, I didn't fish this lake for a good while because all I ever caught was smalls, and then I started catching some a little bit better, and my buddy caught that 7-pounder, and I said, oh my gosh, there's bigs in the lake. I gotta go. And I knew there was 2s and 3s, you know what I mean? But a 7-pounder, I gotta get one. And then I hooked into one, lost him. My own fault. He broke me off. It was my own fault. I should have retied. I should have done this. I should have done that. A few things I should have done differently, but hey, that's fishing. That's part of it. Let's see, they're right underneath the pile of rocks over here I usually catch them off of. At least 1 or 2. It'd be nice to catch more than 2 of them right here, especially after all that smack I've been talking. Nice to catch a dozen or so right here. There's one. He's a little fighter. One might keep. Yeah, that's a little bit bigger one. No, 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 no. I gotta measure you. 13. Going in the bucket. Number 2 in the bucket. Come on. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get home and clean these fish, cut them up. Probably not cook them tonight, but cook them one day in some grease or blackened fish. I like to do blackened bass. My wife loves blackened bass. Well, I guess I ain't gonna tear them up today. So if I end up going home with 5 eaters, that's 10 pieces of fish. That's about all you could really ask for, honestly. And that's what I put them in. 10 pieces per bag. So if I can go home with 5 keppers today, I'll be doing pretty good. A little grocery bag. Your choice to dip them or not dip them in some ketchup or barbecue sauce or mustard. I like it all. I like it any way and every way. There's a fish on there. Another little 10-incher pincher. But hey, they sure are fun. Alright guys, it done got chilly, so I went ahead and put my jacket back on. Out here on Lake Isabella, fishing the culvert. If you know, you know. Out the back of the boat. Anyways, fish are starting to get active, it seems like, so let's see if they want the topwater buzz bait. It is 5:57. If they don't hit it in the next 5-10 minutes, I'm gonna switch back to the grub and just keep doing the Ned rig, because the Ned rig is definitely catching them today. Mind throwing the net rig. Y'all just had to tell me. A little trout. That's what it looks like. A little trout, baby. They ever call it speckled trout? You know what I'm talking about. I guess bass is kind of like a trout, type of trout. Bilge pump works. Thank the Lord for that.